Hi guys, Jim from Boxing Life and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be reacting to Amir Khan and Kell Brook's training footage. Haven't done one of these in a while, so what not better than these two who are about to fight next week, and it's obviously well overdue. I'll also give you my thoughts and my prediction at the end of this video. So on that note, let's get right into it. So Amir Khan training with Terence Crawford here. Which is an interesting move from Amir Khan, training with the team that has already beaten Kell Brook. And you don't know how much psychologically that could impact Kell Brook. Just working on the fundamentals, the 1-2, the punch shield. Some sparring footage now. Quick hands. He's always had a really good 1-2, Amir Khan, just so quick at it. And obviously Bomac, the lead trainer for Amir Khan in this fight. And they obviously have the strategy for Terence Crawford to beat Kell Brook, but can they get Amir Khan to do the same? Two very different styles, obviously. Yeah, he's looking good. He's always had a really good jab, Amir. Like I said, he's very quick, even for this age, you know, towards the end of his career. Using the slip rope. Very quick hands. He's looking good. But it matters on the night, doesn't it? Can look good in training. And yeah, you just kind of wonder if, you know, this speed is really going to shock Kell Brook, especially in the opening rounds. I think that's going to be key for Kell Brook and for Amir Khan. Working with Bomac on the body punches here, just conditioning work. Yeah. Now doing some deadlifts, strength and conditioning work. Obviously the power comes from your feet, and if he plans on knocking Kell Brook, he needs to make sure his legs are strong. Quite like using that for instead of doing the deadlifts. It's a bit easier if you're not sure on how to deadlift. You should definitely use, I can't remember what it's called, but it works the glutes pretty well. Some footwork. Just involved in the gym training. Push exercises. Not sure about that. Now I've got Kell Brook. I've always quite liked Kell Brook in terms of his combination punching. I think he's got more variety than Kell Brook in terms of throwing combinations, but he's just not as quick as Amir Khan. Some aqua bag. He's got good footwork as well, Kell Brook. I know he's had a hard time, obviously, ever since the Golovkin loss. It's just it's gone a bit downhill for him in terms of people kind of respecting his abilities. He's obviously training with Dominic Ingle for this fight, and he's gone for someone who's a bit more familiar with, I guess. You just don't know, like, I feel like Dominic Ingle and that team have just been kind of declining. And they're, you know, maybe having that familiar face in his base in that Ingle gym will help him to perform to his best. He always comes in the best shape possible, Kell Brook. How much of a difference this now it will make, I don't know. Just speak back here. I think he's out in Spain at the moment. That's where his training camp is. Always comes in great condition, Kell Brook. There's no denying that. And that wraps it up. So guys, just kind of looking at that footage, I think Amir Khan, you know, some of that footage of Kell Brook is a bit older because there isn't too much. You know, they've clearly quite a closed camp. And yeah, it's interesting to think, you know, how Brook's team will approach it. And, you know, with Amir Khan, you know, I think he's one of these weird guys where he clearly needs to be coached well. He's jumped around lots of trainers now, hasn't he? It's been Freddie Roach and Virgil Hunter, and now he's with Bomac and Terence Crawford's team. And he clearly likes different environments, changing it up. But you don't know how much of an impact these guys can make. You know, I think in terms of Amir Khan, you know, it's all about using his speed in the early rounds, try and shock Kell Brook in and out with 1-2s, jabs, just try and use his quick hands, you know, early on to his strength. And if they can do that, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they get a knockout. Now, as the fight goes on, that's where I kind of worry for Amir Khan. For Kell Brook, we know he always comes in absolutely shredded, and I can see him winning this fight if he manages to take it the full 12 rounds. And Kell Brook does gas out too at times, but I just have a feeling, you know, he is the bigger guy, obviously. If he can withstand the quick hands of Khan, I think he might be able to do it. I really do. And, you know, there's obviously, you know, the chin issue for them both. I think this fight, it will either be an action-packed end-to-end fight, which is non-stop, and the fans will love, and we would have said, oh, we should have had this years ago. Or there'll be some sort of controversy in the fight or the scorecard. That's the way I see it going. I've changed my mind so many times during this, and I think I just have, before, you know, last week I was kind of thinking more Kell Brook just because of his size, but I'm actually, it's a really hard one to call, but I'm actually kind of going to go for Amir Khan. I think working with Terence Crawford's team and Bomac, I think those quick hands are really going to shock Kell Brook early on in the fight. And I think they're going to try and take advantage of that. They don't want, this is not a fight for Amir Khan to go 12 rounds. I don't think that's a smart way to play this. But if they go and use his strengths against Kell Brook, the quick hands, I think they can definitely cause some damage early on, potentially win this fight. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it all works out for both guys. Obviously, Amir Khan's been trolling Kell Brook for years now. And I just think it's got to Kell Brook over the years, more than it has, obviously, Amir Khan. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. You know, I'm not really too bothered who wins, if I'm being honest. I think we just kind of want to settle the score in terms of for British boxing, just to see what happens. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You know, I think it's an entertaining fight. You know, Amir Khan is a very entertaining fighter, and you know, Kell Brook, you know, I think he has a chance, but it's going to be hard. You know, he's got to survive those early rounds, in my opinion. But yeah, guys, that's kind of my thoughts on the fight and my prediction. Comment below, let me know who you think's going to win the fight. I'd love to know. And yeah, we'll see what happens next week. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. As always, I'll see you in the next one.